Hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to, I think I can just resume, that'll put me in the right one here. Yeah, because I haven't been playing any other run. So we're here in the control hut, and the status is I should say, I forgot two of the cured guts when I was coming back from Coastal Highway when I decided to make Pleasant Valley my uh, long-term base. And so instead of walking back there, which we could, I think it would be probably a day and a half of game time to go back to the Coastal Highway garage and then come back. But the issue is, while we would get the boat quicker, I personally didn't consider that a good um, spending of our time because we've already been through that route a few times and there's nothing else to loot. So we would essentially be burning that time just to go and get those two guts. And I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just wait for the guts to cure in the last episode that are in the barn that's near the road in the Pleasant Valley farmstead. So that's their curing for us. And rather than, at this stage, given our current resources, rather than going around Pleasant Valley and possibly even up to Timberwolf Mountain or something like that, I think it would be more fruitful for us to instead from this point, head towards the cave that's going to take us to the Carter Dam, which has a lot of loot. We could get a bedroll, we could get a lantern. You know, those bedroll and a lantern are two items that we still need. And there's other loot we can grab as well in Mystery Lake, and there's plenty of cattails as well. So I think that's the more promising and wiser way, I'm guessing, to spend our time here. And there's also birch bark as well as soon as we come out. Now I'm hoping that there's not a moose spawning right there because then the birch bark that's right outside the Carter Dam, you know, down by the frozen stream there, uh, if a moose is there, then we're gonna have to do a good job at spooking him so we can get some of those resources and then get out before he comes back because we literally have no defenses. I mean, we don't have cabin fever, so we can run, you know, and stuff like that, but we do need to just be very careful. So right now it's the middle of the night. I don't have anything on me that smells, but we have picked up a lot of things to make tea that we just haven't crafted yet. So let's go ahead and take care of that now while we're doing good on food. So yeah, so let's go ahead and take care of that. We are still trying to recover our well-fed that we lost when I accidentally started breaking down the metal shelf in the Riken when I was there. So, and I believe, yeah, because when you break down, it's like these mushrooms weigh more as you have them, and as you break them down, then they get lighter. So break these down, that's killing some time, and then we'll be able to sleep a little bit more, and then we'll be able to, actually, I only have two bandages, I think, so I'm gonna be cautious and craft a couple more here. Just get a couple more. And then, let's see, I'm gonna eat this, 70%. And then we're going to sleep. And then hopefully it's morning. Well, it will be morning. Hopefully it's a little bit lighter out at that point. There's the bed. Yeah. So hopefully the weather is going to behave. If we did have a blizzard here, we do need to get more water. But once we get in the Carter Dam, quite frankly, there's a couple toilets in there, so we'll be able to grab that. Because we're low on fuel. We do have this is what we picked out right outside this control hut here. So we do have that, and I didn't need to bring this with me. Um, I just wasn't yesterday. You know, some days I have better episodes than others. I think it's just a function of just how tired I am and all that. So, okay, we are gonna run into some wolves undoubtedly on the way here. We're headed to the the cave on our way to Carter Dam while we're waiting for those guts to cure and stuff like that. So we're just trying to be as wise as possible, especially early, on how we spend our time. And if you recall the last episode, I was talking about how one of the first things new players forget to do is pick up their bedroll after they sleep, and then they'll leave their bedroll and they'll forget.
Looks like I survived another night.
And then I talked about how I had overcome that because I formed a habit. I turned it into a habit. So that led me to a deeper realization that in order to become good at this game, you have to figure out what works, and then what works, you just have to turn into habits. And the reason you have to turn them into habits is because there's so many. There's an open cave up here. We can go in and we'll make a fire because it's really cold, and so we'll need to do that. So we're keeping a wide berth here for the wolves. But the reason why you have to turn the best practices, if you will, into a habit is because there's just so many things. There's so many things to keep track of. So you just have to build habits so you're not thinking about it as much, right? And then so you can just continue on and then focus on other things that you haven't built habits on quite yet, right? So that's the goal. It's interesting that he keeps growling when he runs by me like that, even though he's in flight mode. That's weird. It kind of makes you think that he's really gonna come after you, you know? That's what it seems like. But yeah, as you can see, we're already frozen. And you know, part of the problem is the only thing we've crafted so far, been able to craft so far, are the mittens, and we have no coats still. We haven't found any coats. So we're just trying to get more coverage on places we've been and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is we'll build a fire inside the cave there, and we'll make some teas from the crafting we had just done and stuff like that. So, and I maybe no, I mean, I was thinking of getting these rabbits here, but I think I'm just gonna, in the interest of time and stuff like that, I think I'm just gonna leave them here for now. And we'll harvest that deer later. I'm probably not gonna harvest every carcass that we find because I'm gonna want to leave them around for feathers. And I do want a third field dressing here, as I would call them from the military. So to just have at least 3 on me, and then we'll get some more mushrooms here. We'll make a fire in this cave to our right. There's a blind up there. There's some saplings we can get. There might be both a birch and a maple near the hunting blind that we're going to pass on our way to the cave. And, oh, there's a sleeping area in here, so note for future reference. In case we get cabin fever. There's a couple caves we can go to. Yeah, that is if we don't have a bedroll, but still, we can go here and, yeah, look, I'm inside the cave and it's still pretty cold. So it's already starting to get fairly cold out. I think the cold is beginning to increase.
Come on. Work.
But yeah, if you're somebody who's never made a video like this, you're just watching like, oh, you should have done that. Oh, you should have done this. And you've never done a video like this, I challenge you to do a video because how we doing? Oh, we don't have the cabin fever risk anymore, which is a blessing. And I'm just doing teas. Excuse me. I'm just doing teas, so I'm not gonna put down the whole can there. How we doing on water? Yeah, we're pretty low on water. So tell you what, let's put this guy down. I mean, not that. We need the larger one. Now let's get 1 liter going here, just to, because we're gonna use some up here to make some teas. So, okay, let's make a coffee. We can get one of those going. I'm not gonna drink this right away. I'm just gonna store it, and then after we get the coffee done, then we'll make a rose hip, and then we'll drink this one to give us a little bit of a buff. Increase our temperature a little bit. And then now I want to make I wanted to make a rose, or not a rose, a reishi tea. But we'll get some more water going here, and we have 27 minutes. So I'm just gonna duck out here real quick. You tend to walk a little slower in the cave if you notice, and then I speed up a little bit there. I'm not sure why that is. I'm gonna just try to. I know that wolf's around here somewhere, so this is a little bit risky, especially because we can't see, but usually he's kind of over that way. He doesn't really come up here that I've seen. Here's the blind I was talking about, and there's a maple sapling. Plenty of mushrooms here, which is great. And I wanted to come out here and get a little bit more sticks while we're waiting. We're gonna have to get back there pretty quick. I'm just not seeing that many sticks right here. I do need a few more stones. So, oh well. We need to stock up on sticks. That's it for that area. I'll harvest that sapling as soon as we get back. I gotta get back to the cave here. See, it was a little bit dangerous coming out here with no torch lit or anything like that, but I was just going a short distance just to see if I could see any sticks, so. You know, if I smelled, he would most likely still be in the area, is my theory. Just kind of waiting. You see, the walk kind of slowed down. It's pretty interesting. Till boiled. So we'll have enough fuel here to make some more teas. So okay, so let's get a reishi. Got some more water, and let's get another rose hip. And then I'll probably drink this rose hip again. Yeah. And then we'll be on our way. We'll light the torch and be on our way. So one question I had, some of the veteran players that may be watching, later on in the game when things are, you know, very settled and you're just basically rocking it, and you know you're fishing and stuff like that, so you're getting oil. Do you craft your own torches using the oil you're getting there to get some 100% ones so that it's lighter? And then, so for example, say like you had, you know, like 500% torches there, which is basically greater than 10 torches, if you will, that you would pull from a fire. That's something I was thinking about doing once things get more settled here and we're not surviving, we're instead thriving. Once we get in thriving mode, I was thinking about doing that. So I have essentially, you know, you have more capacity in the torches then, and you're not really sacrificing, you know, you're not sacrificing your oil so much because you have that now. So I'm just wondering if people do that. I'm thinking of doing that. Now sometimes there's birch saplings a little bit over this way. So I'm just kind of coming over this way a little bit, and I'm not seeing them, so we're just gonna head down. And there's a deer. As I said before in a previous run, there used to be a bear that, you know, as you were approaching this, you'd about 50% of the time you would have a bear just kind of hanging around here, but I think that guy moved. And my coach said that the bear is still there, actually, at the other cave by where the rope is to climb up to this level. So yeah, I totally believe him. It just hasn't been on my interloper runs that I since I started playing this game again. I went about 2 years in between playing this game. And that was one of the reasons why I left my bedroll from, if you recall the previous story, I left my bedroll and transfer pass in that transfer station. And a good thing here, we'll get some coal. So that's why I left my bedroll there, because really my skills were quite rusty. And I began thinking about the blizzard I was consumed in inside transfer pass region. And then I was kind of like, oh, I got to get back, you know, and then your mind just, you know, gets filled with other things, and you're not thinking about, you're not just pausing and thinking about things. So you don't want to be running around like kind of nutty, you know, in this game, just checking things off and like, oh, I want to do this now, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. You want to slow down a little bit. You want to slow down a little bit until you form, until you've transferred and morphed the best practices of this game into actual habits. And just, you know, take a little bit more time to think about stuff. Examine your inventory, examine your situation. The more knowledge you gain, the more, excuse me, the more things. I have a little bit of allergies, so
I'm gonna have to leave
apologies. But yeah, should I pick up this wood? Yeah, I might as well. We're gonna be heavy, but it is what it is. We know where the moose spawns in Pleasant Valley, so we're gonna be getting that going for us. I'll probably pick up upwards of 10 coal in here, just to have. Because coal is, one player told me, or one player said on his run, he said, coal is worth gold in this. So, I'm trying to find, is this, yeah, this is the way out. So I want to go back. I don't recall, I don't know this cave that well. I've been in it plenty of times, but I haven't committed it to memory, the route, so much. Some cave systems I have, others I just haven't. And so I'm just trying to spend a little bit more time seeing if there's any choice loot that we want to grab here. And yeah, so this is where, this is why I wanted to come this way. How we doing here? We have 6 coal, so I just want to pick up 4 more. 2, so that's 8.
I think I can use this.
Oh, yes, we can use that. And the question I have, does this do anything? You know, clicking on these things, does it actually do anything for us, or is it more of a just something to click on? I'm just wondering if anything actually comes out of it. You know, I wouldn't know what would, but I mean, I have seen people, they like to make sure they click on whatever, you know, cairn they call it, right? So I kind of wondered that a little bit. Like, is it worth clicking on them, or is it just something you just kind of do, you know, kind of for fun? Or does the game give you any kind of reward at all? You know, how are we doing? We have 8, yeah. So this brings us to 9, and then 10. And that's plenty. Okay, we're done picking up coal. And I'm kind of, what is this way? Anything this way? Or is it just coal? Yeah, it's just coal. Okay. Yeah. And sticks. How are we doing on sticks? We probably need some more. Yeah, we'll take 15 sticks, and that'll be about it. Cause yeah, we're getting pretty heavy, so I don't want to getting too much here. Well, we don't have our well-fed yet, and we don't have the technical backpack, um, nor the moose hide satchel. So we'll just leave the rest of the coal, and we'll just pick them up at another time. And here, there used to be cattails right here, and now they're here again. So I think what happens is, where the cattails manifest, I think they're sort of variabilized a little bit more, is what they've done now, is what I think. Because on a previous run, Interloper run, I wouldn't have these 3 cattails here that were usually, I think they were guaranteed at some point. You'd always have 3 ones right there. And then on a previous Interloper run that I had, they weren't there, they weren't all there. So I found that interesting. Getting low on torches, so we'll have to make a fire at some point. The weather's not, the temperature isn't terrible. And do we have another? Yeah, these are cold by now, so. I could put one of them in the thermos is empty right now. I could have put one of them in there, but I just didn't. Another thing I'm wondering, when it comes to the thermos, the more the more you fill it, does that extend the longevity of it or not? You know, so if I put 5 in there, does that make it last longer versus if I just have 1 in there? Is this one thing I'm wondering? If anybody knows, they can let me know. But I don't know if I'm going to be testing some of these things. I'd probably start experimenting with some of these things once we get a lot more settled. You know, we have plenty of food, plenty of gear, and all that kind of stuff. And then we can start experimenting with some different mechanics like that and whatnot. But right now, this early in the game, time is very, very precious. So you really have to spend it wisely when you're low on all sorts of resources. And just to be thorough, there is a cave up this way, so I'm just gonna, while we're on our way here, I'm just gonna check in here, see if there's anything here I want. And we'll get our third bearded lynch in here, I think it's called, and or if I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Bearded lichen? Is it lichen or lichen? Not sure how it's pronounced. Lichen or lichen? Like lichen, like the werewolves, right? Oh, I wanted that to go out. Getting talking. Yeah, it just went out like in the middle. So, oh, we got some good surprises here. We have matches. We have some ruined peaches, which we are not going to touch until we get level 5 cooking, which makes us immune to that. And I'm already at level 3, so I'm just not going to take this book at this time. I may drop in here and bring it as a souvenir. Do I have 5? Yeah, I got 5 stones, so I don't need any more. And we are on 3 torches right now, so this will get us to the Carter Dam. The torches we have, and past the lone wolf that is by the dam. I'm always grateful in this game when we have good weather. Oh, always grateful. And we'll start to freeze by the time we get up there. We'll start to take a little bit of damage because we're going to be doing a little bit of looting and sorting on our way in. So, yeah. How are we doing on cattails? We have 18. Alright, so since we don't have the bow, I'm going to probably increase the amount I want to harvest and carry with me to about 30. And when I have the bow, I bring that down to 20 or even 15.
I'm so cold.
That's what I usually do. There's Mr. Wolf. Right on cue. And he usually gets distracted by the rabbits if you give him time. We'll leave those cattails over there. I'm not going to go over there at this time. And I don't see a rabbit here for him to be distracted by, so he's just kind of... Oh, here's the rabbit. You're smart, Mr. Rabbit. Staying away. See ya. So we only need one more rabbit skin. We have 2 rabbit skins curing in the barn there, and we only need one more rabbit skin to actually make the hat, but we do need a lot more for maintenance, because the rabbit skin, what you craft with rabbit skins degrades faster than any other item. So you always want to have plenty of rabbit skins around. Frankly, you want to have plenty of skins around, period, is what you want. Because there might come times where... Is our last torch. So there might come times where you can't find the animals you need, for example, right? When you need them. So be proactive. Stock up as much as you can once you have the bow and everything like that. Always bring the pelts back, dump them in your place. At some point, you don't have to take all the guts of the large animals like the bear and the moose. There are times when you can be a little lean on that, but you do want to make an attempt and figure out how you can get, all the guts. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a fire right here because we're already freezing and we need more torches. So let's just go ahead and take care of that. So we stop losing condition. Because we don't know if there's going to be a lantern at all in the Carter Dam. There might be. I know where it typically spawns. But if you recall the last run I had,
It worked.
That wasn't the case. So I'll make some more water here. Some more teas. Anyway. I'm on a different track of thought right now, so bear with me. I suffer from squirrel syndrome. And this game is actually kind of trying to help me cure that, maintain my thoughts, while there's something that you have to focus on in the game in the moment, and then go back to what you were saying before. It's helping me build that. If you don't know what squirrel syndrome is, go watch the movie Up. There's a talking dog in that movie, and he'll be talking to his master and stuff like that. Sounds like the wolf is getting a rabbit. He's talking, and he'll be in the middle of, talking and stuff like that, and then he'll get distracted and he'll be like, squirrel, squirrel. And in the tech industry, we made fun of folks for a lot for that. Because, and quite frankly, it's something that we all suffered from. Well, I shouldn't say all. I can't speak for all, but a lot of us did. And so we would have fun with that. We kind of tease each other about it a little bit and make fun of it because we all would get that sometimes. We'd be in a meeting and like, squirrel, So I get that a lot. I can get distracted. And if you've noticed, I've started stories and I haven't finished them yet. So there are intangible benefits of making these game videos is my point, and I'm going to continue to make that point. And I think I'm just going to drink this coffee because I want a little bit more energy. Well, actually not, because it's about midday. Yeah, so to make me sleep through the night, I think I'm just going to not worry about that. So 17 minutes, so let's take some time getting some more torches here. A different strategy for Ash Canyon that my coach here told me was instead of bringing meat and stuff like that with me to Ash Canyon for food and whatnot, uh, I can just bank on relying on the cattails as we're going through that region so that we're not attracting predators to us. And that sounded like a really good strategy to me, so I think I'm going to use that. Okay, we didn't get the best torches, but we have some. And there's another fire pit inside the Carter Dam here. We may choose to expend a little bit more fuel and get some more torches. So let's see, the no bedroll in this cylinder this time. There can be a bedroll there, so that's one place you're going to want to check. Right up here in that cylinder. So let's continue on. There are no predators up here, so you don't. Has that always? I think that's always been there. Wonder what that. I've wondered what that thing is. This thing right here. What is this thing? I wonder what that's supposed to be. Also, in my last run, there was a container inside this cylinder there, which you'd have to break down all these pallets to get to, and at the time, I didn't have a hatchet or anything like that yet, so. But there's no container in there right now, so we can do that. I think this piece of scrap metal is always here. I've never had a run where that scrap metal is never there. And if you're into the mapping, this is a good place to do the mapping right here. So I've never fallen off this ledge, but I'm always pretty careful. I tend to, just really, really hug this. Alright, then I just make a trip over here. This deer is always here. Get more feathers. If you can find them. It's not the best feather producing area. It doesn't seem to be. As you can see, I didn't see any there. Okay, so, oops. I meant to crouch. I accidentally pressed the Windows key, which you guys couldn't see because the recording is tied to the game executable.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Oh, I'm glad I came in here. You never know. I found matches in glove compartments. I found matches in all kinds of places that you wouldn't think necessarily to find them. And I need to stand up to see if there's anything right in there. Nothing back here. Okay, so then we got to crouch to get through here. I need to light this next torch. I believe that brings us down to 4.
I could eat anything.
No. I could have put more fuel on that fire, but I'm like, well, 5 will get us through a little bit here, and we're going to run into the fire pit inside, so we'll probably just use that fire pit to get a few more. And we'll come in here. It's so nice there's no blizzard right now. Ugh. I'm always going to say, yeah, there's a memento here. I don't think I've ever opened that thing. And I'm wondering, this pot is always here, so if you're really, really looking for a pot and you can't find one, that's a guaranteed spawn for a pot right there. So we'll start looting, and we'll see what we get.
Being useful.
I don't pick up the spray cans. I'd be interested in knowing if any other veteran players actually use the spray cans and what they get out of it and what they like about it. If it's really worth using it and how you should use it. If it's like, yeah, use it for this, but don't use it for that. Like, it doesn't really help for that, for example. So I'm just kind of wondering. Okay. Alright. And I should, use that little wooden spatula there to make my porridge. I wonder if he's just using his hand when he's making porridge. That wouldn't be very sanitary, sir. You need to use utensils, and you need to wash your dishes. Yeah, to recreate every single thing about life and the physics and everything about our physical reality into a virtual world. We basically don't have the compute power right now to do all that all the time. So the game devs do as best they can, right? Kind of reminds me of in the old days, which brought us to Y2K. Some of you don't even know what Y2K is. I was on call during Y2K. We assured our managers and stuff like that that there wouldn't be any issue. We actually didn't need to be on call. Do I already have? I think I already have quality tools with me. Yeah. So tell you what, I'm gonna probably I'm gonna drop some things at the entrance to this dam. Is what I usually do until I build a travois and I can carry more stuff with me and start bringing it back to my base and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'll carry that toolbox with me here for now. Another match right here. Wow. Very, very nice. All right. I mean, I've never seen anything back here, I don't think, but I always look. So once we get into the next room with the fire pit, we'll make another fire because the quality of these torches were pretty low. And I only grabbed 5 of them before the fuel ran out. Oops. No, 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 no. Stand a little closer there. Anything up there? Let's look down. Anything hiding? Nope. Torch is getting a little dim. Alright, before we start looting that, I'm just going to switch torches. We're down to 2. The timing should work out. We should hit the fire pit. And then we'll build another fire to get some more torches. I'm not going to use the coal because we don't need to warm up. I'm just going to use the wood I have on me. If I can. Sometimes I think on other runs there can be other things, I mean other difficulties, excuse me, that can kind of be over there. When everything's electrified during the story mode, you use, I think you use that to get to and from this area. Yep, this can be here sometimes, sometimes not, obviously.
Right now.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop a whole bunch of gear at the entrance to this dam that I just don't need to carry with me as I'm continuing to loot Mystery Lake a little bit. We're not gonna loot all of Mystery Lake. We're just going to loot some of it. Okay. And then we'll head back. But I just want to bring down the weight more, dump a bunch of stuff at the entrance of this dam. And then on our way back to what's going to become our permanent base, we'll sift through items there and we'll just decide what to bring with us, what not, once we get to that point. Right. Nothing else in there. Can't really see anyway. I mean, directly. Okay, so that's the way out. I'm starting to lose this last torch here, and the last torch that we have is going to be even lower. So we got to get moving here. Get to the fire pit. All right, and it's just right into the next room. A little bit of a delay there when I clicked. But in this one's 24%, so yeah, we should be good to go. Usually this corpse doesn't provide me anything. I think it's only provided me one item one time. And I don't even remember what it was. And the fire pit's just around the corner up here. There's other places where things can hide in this whole room and stuff like that. So, now we're getting low on food here. We should eat some cattails. Okay, so let's take a look here. What do we got? We got some for claim wood. Make sure you change from the fire striker, so you're not wasting a spark. One place I know there's a guaranteed fire striker is up in the Timberwolf Summit. It's by the crate that's furthest away from when you will first walk in. How we doing? Yeah, let's just get rid of that guy. I need that. Alright, so we'll use these. And let's see, before I start grabbing torches, I do need to eat. Oh, I can add this guy's. No, not that I want to do. I'm gonna put that ruined torch in here just for now. Okay, so let's look at food real quick. Probably just have some cattails based on quality. And I didn't drop, I was gonna drop that flour, but I forgot. So yeah, so we'll just eat cattails. And then Mystery Lake will just refill on our cattails. Plenty of cattails out there. I think this is good enough before bed. Some more water. We'll make a little bit more water here too. We're gonna need to add a little bit more fuel. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Some water. And let's do 1 liter. And then we'll do another half. So while that's cooking, we'll need to add more, but we got some good torches there. Good torch there. There. How's it doing? It's down to 51 minutes. Yeah, we'll have to put more fuel on here to finish the water. But that's okay. We got 5. Take 1 more, put more fuel. Some people always pick up their torches and harvest them all the time. I don't know, since it's basically a stick, I don't really see too much value in that, personally, but people could have other perspectives on that. I don't know. Alright, so we got a good amount of torches. I want to get this water done. So grab that. That'll be good. 18 more minutes, so we're good there. Yeah, so we're just not going to grab any more. We'll just have this torch ready to go to light as soon as this is done. There we go. Light. And onward. So, let's just spend just a little bit of time looking through here. I don't know if people have found... I used to find some loot kind of hanging around right here, but I haven't for quite some time, so... So I was thinking about the cougar again, or a mountain lion. Okay, so this looks like another loot area. Can there be anything in here? There might be. I don't know. Perhaps if I break down that crate. It's possible. Also, I don't know if anybody's ever found any loot sort of up here. On Interloper, I mean. But it is worth checking. So we're just going to continue along here, just kind of scanning. Just seeing if the game designers have any surprises for us. Like a bedroll or a lantern. Let's check up here real quick. I can check it off. Again, I don't think I've ever found anything up these stairs. But you still want to check, especially on Interloper. So anyway, so about the cougar, it remains to be seen, you know, what the mechanics of that guy is going to be. You know, in a game like Skyrim, if you pay attention, you'll notice a saber-tooth tiger just waiting, you know, because they're ambushed just like mountain lions, right? You'll notice them just waiting and wait. But if you're just running around, just kind of doing whatever, you're not really going to notice them, and then all of a sudden they're attacking you and stuff like that. But the danger isn't as high like as it would be in this game, for example, because there's just a lot more you can do in Skyrim, and it's just a little friendlier. It's just not as intense, if you will, right? So it remains to be seen what the mechanics of that cougar is going to look like. Because after studying cats, cats are cats. You know, the way they operate is largely very similar from a house cat to you know, the big cats. And I'll give you an example, a biological example of that. One of them is the allergies. So the genetics, the protein that I should say the protein that people are allergic to in cats. It's the same. Can we get over here? I'm concerned if I could get over there, that I wouldn't be able to get back. So maybe we can't get over there. But anyway, so if you study allergies at all, actually we just need to get down. Where's the door? Is that the door? Yeah, it's the door. So we're just gonna hop down. So we can't climb through. There's a broken window up there. Could conceivably climb through. It'd be nice if we could use our hammer to just, you know, or hatchet or something like that to just break up the glass so that we could just climb through. That'd be nice. But you can't manipulate the environment as much yet. I think they're working on that. Anyway, so the biological example I was saying about the cats was when I was talking with my allergist. I used to be allergic to cats. I did the shots, and then I got over that, so I'm no longer allergic to cats. But when I was, he was explaining to me the proteins when people are allergic to pets. So for cats, it's first of all, it's a very sticky protein, which why it's extremely difficult to clean thoroughly. If you have somebody coming over to your house and you have cats, and you're like, well, I cleaned. You know, I vacuumed everything, it's just spotless, you know, spotless. And then they come over and then they start like, oops. And then they start, you know, just having allergy symptoms. You're just kind of like, but I cleaned everything. That's because the protein is extremely sticky that people are allergic to for cats. And it's very, very difficult to get rid of. You'd have to get rid of all the cats, and then you'd have to keep cleaning probably for like, you know, a good 6 months or so, depending on how good you are. Another...
Weigh me down.
Yeah, I know you're heavy, dude. We'll drop a bunch of stuff at the entrance. But yeah, it's very, very sticky. Difficult to get rid of. In contrast, oh, let me finish the cat here. So, That's what's similar to all cats. He's like, so even different breeds of cats. He's like, the protein that people are allergic to, all cats make it. They just make it in different amounts. It's the same protein that people are allergic to for lions or calico short hair. It's the exact same protein. So that just gives you a glimpse into how the genetics have been very, very close. And then, so what I was saying about the cat behavior is that cats are control freaks. They're afraid of not being in control. That's what cats are like. If they, so like if you encounter a mountain lion, for example, if you can find a way to make them think that they're no longer in control, there's more variables that they're not sure how to process, they'll flee. Because they're control freaks. They're just like house cats. They have a big control urge. So, yeah. So I'm just curious as to what kind of mechanics they'll put in for the cougar. Am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I think it's this way first. That was about, I think it was after 15. No, it was like maybe 14. All right, let's get that. There we go. We're on our way. Can I walk and chew gum at the same time? Can I continue stories and focus on not messing this up? I don't know if I can, so I'm not even going to try. Because my torch is going... Oh, see, I almost went past that. Oh, okay, good. Whew.
There's got to be something useful in here.
That's not useful. Come on, Hinterland. No, that was not useful. Let's see if there's anything else. Some books. I'm not going to carry those with me right now. Quite heavy relative to what you get out of them. Okay, so this is where we came in. Right, we checked those. We checked that. We checked this. So let's go over to the other side over here and get some more water. Yeah, I'm first just going to go into the bathroom and then work my way back. Yeah, so I'm just curious on how they're going to do this, because, I mean, they're going to have to make it playable, right? In reality, cougars, I believe, will always get the jump on you in the real world, because they're just, you won't even see them. You won't hear them, most likely. You won't even see them. And then all of a sudden, boom, they jump you. And it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference if you stink or not. I'm sure it makes a little bit of difference, but to what degree, I don't know. We got our lantern right there. To what degree, I'm not sure. So, they're going to have to make it doable somehow, though, in this game, and I'm not sure how they're going to do that. They'd have to do something, and like, you know what I mean? Sort of like, probably make the cougar tracks last longer, I would think, in the snow than other tracks, possibly. Because you're going to have some kind of clue that you're getting near a cougar at some point. You'll have to have some kind of clue, because if they don't find a way to give us some clues, it's just not going to work well. It just really isn't. We're just going to end up dying all the time. So, yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do with this. Maybe some choice kills. Maybe the way a corpse looks. You know, maybe like if a corpse looks this way, then you know there's a cougar nearby. So you really need to not go in tight spaces and stuff like that. For example, I mean that's one possible way, right? if there's a way you could even make that unique. I don't even know what that would look like. You know, if you could spot like, oh, this is a cougar kill versus, you know, like a wolf or something like that. I do think they need to make the bears more predator-like in the sense that, you know, they do hunting too, right?
That'll come in handy.
Um, uh, Black bears are omnivores. They can, you know, they can either eat meat or, you know, just be going around and eating a whole bunch of berries and stuff like that, right? So it just remains to be seen. We have a lot of black bears here in the Rockies. I've never seen a brown bear make its way down, thank the Lord, but do occasionally have some black bears. Sometimes they just walk right by my house. I used to have chickens. My wife and I went through a chicken and duck phase. Ducks are extremely dirty. They you know, after observing them, it's like I think using water is really a part of their digestion, because after they would eat and stuff like that, they would sort of, then they would go into the water, and they would just be constantly like messing with the water and sort of filtering through.
Find food.
Oh, he's getting a little hungry. They would just basically mess up the water a lot. You know, they're just kind of, I wouldn't say they're dirty. I would just say that they're messy. That's what I would say. I would just say that they're messy. Chickens are a little easier to take care of in that regard. You don't have to change the water out as much at all. But the ducks are obviously water birds, right? So they're gonna, I do find them more entertaining. They seem to have a bit more personality. They're a little more entertaining than chickens are. Chickens are very fragile. They can just up and pass away on you, and you know, just pass away, and they're not even that old. And you know, you're not going to take it to the vet and like, hey, do an autopsy, find out why this chicken died. You're not gonna do that. So anyway, so I did have we have
This'll come
two.
in handy.
Oh, jeans, I was hoping that was a thermal. Oh well. We do have two large livestock guardian dogs that we had when the chickens were here. They were meant to protect the chickens, but instead they would sometimes kill them and start eating them, so that didn't work out too well. But one time I was on the phone with my boss during the day, and we didn't have fence yet. We just moved out here. We had the chickens, and I was just talking with my boss, you know, working remotely, and I was outside, and I just turned to my left, and I noticed like both my mountain dogs, they each had a chicken, and they're just like proceeding to, they were still alive. They were just proceeding to rip the feathers off and stuff like that and begin to eat it, and so the animal was already going into shock. And then I yell at my boss. I'm kind of like, I gotta go. My dogs are eating the chickens. I gotta go. I'll call you right back. So, how many times has a work call ended in that way? So I'm like running down the hill, got the dogs off the chickens. I grabbed the chickens. They're in complete shock because they were, you know, basically in, you know, I'm dead mode, right? You know, they're in the jaws, right? So I was able to salvage them, and I brought both of them in. One of them was a rooster, and the other one was a hen. And bring them in, and I brought them inside, and I got a cardboard box, and I sent them in there, and I just kind of let them recover from the trauma. And then that's what ended up calling the rooster that survived that. We started calling him Trauma. That was his name from that point on. Anyway, so what happened was I used to have the mountain dogs, their outdoor kennel, because they're outdoor dogs. They're Great Pyrenees mix. And the Great Pyrenees, they come from the Pyrenees mountains in south of France, I believe. And then so they have very, very thick coats. You know, if you'd bring them inside, they don't really like being inside. It's just too warm for them, frankly. They pant. And they actually love being out in the cold. They were just actually bred for that. So they'd rather be outside because they're always like sitting by the door like, I don't really, like, they're like, yeah, it's nice being in here, but I don't really like being in here. I'd rather be outside. And they can be outside for just hours. The sun is more intense here because of the ultraviolet index due to the elevation. I can explain that later on, but I'm getting too much squirrel syndrome and taking too many detours of explaining things. I think I hear a blizzard. It's funny, so I had their kennels next to the outdoor chicken coop that I built. Problem was I didn't, this is the first time I've lived up here, first time I've had chickens, and I wasn't quite aware of, the danger and all the things I had to do, right? So we actually didn't get that much food in here, which is somewhat surprising. Yeah, so I hear a blizzard right now, so that's what we got going on. So, how much? We do have our lantern now, so let's see what the status of that guy is. Yeah, I can fill it completely. So, I'm just going to let that expire, this torch. I'm just going to let that expire. Because we have our lantern, so... Now it's time to figure out what we want to drop before we head out. I'm going to bring both the pans with me.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
I'm going to drop all my cans. Let's go up here first. Let's try to spread this out just a little bit, make it easier to sift through. We're going to keep the fuel with us. We're going to drop these books. And drop this book. Again, we'll sift through these things and pick them up on our way back. I'll drop 1 container of antibiotics. Okay, that looks fine. We'll drop, let me move this over just a little bit more. I could use the locker, but I've already started doing this, so yeah, whatever, it is what it is. Drop these guys, don't need those. I don't need this because I'm just not gonna eat it until we get level 5 cooking. I'm still gonna keep the flour with me, I think, in case we run into a skillet. I have some toolboxes to drop. Let's go ahead and drop that. But first I need to make sure I keep my food up a little bit here. Don't want to quite eat that other food quite yet. But we do have to keep moving because we have to keep looting. So, keep moving and keep looting. Especially on Interloper, if you don't, you'll die. And so I had the kennel next to all of the I had the kennel next to the chickens there for a time. Problem was, one of our neighbors complained that the dogs were barking through the night and keeping them awake, which I totally empathized with, and I was kind of like, yeah, that's nuts. So then I moved them into the barn, which would have been a mistake, which was a mistake. If I moved the dogs into the barn, because they were protecting the chickens, I should have moved the chickens into the barn at that point, but I didn't. I figured, well, they're inside there and they're shut into the coop there. So, a number of months later, I was on my way to work in a ministry that I work in, and it was a Saturday morning, and I was just heading out to grab something or something. We were on our way, and as I was walking past, I noticed it just looked a little strange. We're just gonna get into the trailer up here. We don't need to run. We'll be fine. The trailer's by the wolf won't be out here, so we'll be fine. I'm just trying to scan. Sometimes there's a crowbar pry bar around here, some other things. You do want to at least go through all these areas at least once to see if there's any drop here. But so I'm walking out there, and it looks like from a distance, your peripheral vision isn't that good, especially if something's right next to something else. But I'm sitting there going, I'm like, that looks like the duck's on the outside of the coop. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I think, and as I got closer, he was on the outside. I'm like, why is he on the outside? And then I found out that a bear had pushed in. The only thing I had protecting it was a storm door, like one of those screen door things. And all a bear had to do was just put its weight on it and just push it in. So that's what the bear did. A bear had come, just pushed on the window, walked in, and the ducks survived. The ducks were like, "I'm out of here." They just they just took off. The chickens aren't as bright, I don't think. I think ducks are smarter than chickens. And so that's what happened with that. We got a little bit more food. Where we'll sleep? It is nighttime. So I'll tell you what, let's go back. Let's go to the other trailer just across the way. See if there's something else in there for us, and continue. So yeah, so this bear, if you can imagine what these chickens were thinking, this bear would just, he'd come in, he'd grab a chicken, go out, and he'd eat it. And I knew that's what he was doing because I saw his carcass pile and his feces pile, his bear scat pile, where he was making more room so he could eat more chickens. And so this bear decided to eat 4.5 chickens. He didn't even bother to finish the
So
fifth one.
hungry in my life.
I was like, sir, at least finish your food, you know? But yeah, so I found a half-eaten chicken carcass out here, and he ate 4 complete chickens, and then he only ate half of the other one, half of the fifth one, and then he just left, and then he just walked off. He's like, "Well, I'm done." So I got there and discovered that. I'm kind of like, okay, well, we're not going to the ministry here to do what we need to do there. I just called my folks, and I was like, look, we're not coming. We discovered we had a bear invasion. All right, what's the plan here? What is the plan here? The plan probably is just to sleep, because now the moose won't be down there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up in here. While we're filling up, we'll be warming up, and then actually while we're doing that, I'm just gonna kill this. I don't want to keep burning the oil if I don't need to. Um, so while we're filling up, I'm gonna see how that goes. We'll fill up on these. Let me start by quality real quick here. Okay, so that's 19%. Chances are we might get food poisoning from one of these two. So we'll just have to see. But I'm just going to fill up on these here because I just want to keep this well fed going as much as possible. Our progress towards it. Yeah, so what happened then was I just moved. I called them, told them I wasn't coming. I got to take care of this stuff. The bear could come back, could get hungry again. So like, well, that was easy. I come back and get some more chicken. So I just didn't want that to happen. So now let's just drink this, get some more calories. Now let's see what happens with this guy. And then I moved the chickens into the barn at that point. So, fantastic. We did not get food poisoning. Okay, where's the bed? It should be, yep, here it is. So, let's sleep. I don't have birch bark or herbal tea yet, so we can't get a boost during sleeping, so we'll just sleep. Yeah, so after that we were fine. Until I moved them in the barn. Uh, that weekend, like for a couple nights, actually, we had an RV outside. So I actually slept outside in the RV with my rifle. We
We'd better find
can't
some water.
we can't kill black bears here in Colorado. They're protected. So essentially what you do is you just, you try to scare them is what you really end up doing. So, and sounds like the blizzard's over, which is awesome. So let's keep going. I hope there isn't, well, I hope two things. First thing I hope is that there's a moose spawn right here, because it's a nice area for him to be spawned at. Uh-oh, the aurora is ending. So there's an aurora right now. But it's morning, so I'm thinking we'll just go in here and we'll just wait. We won't wait a full hour, we'll just wait a little bit. Give it a little bit more time to end. Let's do that. And to accomplish our waiting, we can just craft something, right? Instead of just killing time. Try to get in that habit too. Like whenever you're thinking, oh, I want to wait, turn the waiting in your mind into first let me look to see if there's something I can do to pass the time, to accomplish the wait, right? So that's what we need to do. So we'll get the torch out. We do need more torches for protection. Tell you what, I got plenty of mushrooms right now. I'm not going to harvest these guys quite yet. And I haven't noticed it. Question I have is the moose out there? The moose is out there. Look at that. Question is, can we spook him? Get him out of the area so that we can... I want to get the birch bark over there. There's probably like 6 pieces over there. So one, I'm glad that he's spawning there. So at least we have that. We know where he spawns. There can be a wolf on the other side over here, so we'll see. Not seeing him quite yet. Okay. So let's grab some more cattails. It's getting windier. I may have to go in, after I get some cattails, I may have to go in the trailer real quick just to sleep and warm up. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't want that condition to keep going down. And my coach left a comment. I will respond to the comments. I haven't done that quite yet. How are we doing on time on this run, on this episode? Man, we're at an hour and 12 minutes now. Okay. So why don't we just finish harvesting this stuff? Anyway, he was saying, he's like, I thought I was the only one that thought about condition. I was like, well, learn the hard way, sir. I'm much more concerned about condition nowadays with this because of the risk of there's always a risk of, no matter what you do, there's always a risk of just getting entangled with a wolf. And you want to keep your condition above 75% if you can help it, right? I mean, you just do. So we're not going to try to spook that moose right now because we're already freezing. So I'm just going to get a little bit more cattails here. And to be safe, I might just decide to throw a stone. Problem is, he better not run towards me, because it would be bad. It would be bad. I mean, he would still spook, but I don't know. I mean, he would be in spook mode, right? So let's see. Let's see how far I can throw this. Oops, I don't want to do that. Good. That worked out. Uh-oh, he's getting a little too close for comfort. A little too close. I'm just gonna try to go along here, get a few more cattails. Get my torch out instead, just in case. He should be coming back now. He will take his time usually, because if you spook him out, he does take quite a while to get back to square one, though they will make their way back. But oftentimes with the moose, I found this he'll stop and he'll be grazing and stuff like that. You know, he'll just kind of eventually make his way back. So I'm still gonna keep this torch out because the wolf around that hangs around here can be really sneaky. I thought I heard some low-level growling for a second, but I just want because you can be coming up this way and the wolf can be just really like hugging this trailer here and can kind of really surprise you. You might be making a shortcut because you might be freezing like I am now. But don't let freezing, make you take too much of a shortcut because, it could kill you. But yeah, so I need that condition up for tangles with wolves is what I'm really wanting to say. Okay, so we just came in here. I'm gonna actually instead of sleeping, let's do some more crafting real quick. Process these guys. Yeah, you want to do that if you're not, um, if you don't have to sleep. Oh, we've got our well fed. You see that? Well fed is here now. So, because you got the plus sign on your health down there. So your condition is going to continue to go up a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to get a save and then we'll continue on next episode. Next episode, we'll continue to loot Mystery Lake. A little bit, because we're looking for a bedroll still. So that's one thing that's one thing that's high on our list now. It's at the top of the list because we have a lantern now. So we need to find a bedroll. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of the day.